there it is. Yeah. Ah, yeah. There she is, guys. Let's take her out for a spin, shall we? Oh, yeah. Let's do this, shall we? Oh, right away. The heights are a little, almost the same. The seat's a little higher. That's because that has the lowering suspension. But overall, well, this is not bad. All right, let's go. Hi guys, Nothing to Prove here. Today's a beautiful day because any day one can be out on two wheels is a beautiful day. Adventure sports, yeah, major updates this year. Honda have finally gotten rid of the 21-inch front on this. Said, okay, we want a more streetable variant, 19. Yes, finally. And they also dropped suspension by 20 millimeters lower than the base model. So you can still get the base model, those variants of that, and then also this with the electronic suspensions, the base, or as you see down there, DCT. Loving this new DCT. That's what's also gotten a major update this year with your low speed maneuvering with software. And it's basically with the 6-axis IMU working together with that and trying to figure out when you're doing a low speed turn, for example, a U-turn. In the past, it would shift somewhere in there sometimes. Now it will calculate that, for example, and not shift until you reach the end of that turn. Just little simple things like this. And yes, I tried it twice out there with a low speed and beautiful. Loving this new DCT. 2 thumbs way up already. Another change this year, yeah, a new windscreen and some new vents or holes, boy, the flies are all over the place, are in the fairing also that you can see to help the pocket of wind protection that you have here a little bit better, so less buffeting. Yes, I did notice that on the Autobahn too. We're going to take this out there too. Now, also, it's 3 kilos heavier. It's kind of the wrong direction, Honda. Everybody's going lighter, now you're still going heavier. So I guess software costs a lot, or weighs a lot, doesn't it? Just kidding. But they say, wait a minute, Scott, it's not that bad, 3 kilos heavier. Yeah, take a look at what the competition weighs. Where is this bad boy coming in at? Of course, this is everything. The adventure sports with the bigger tank and the DCT. So we're looking at, look at that weight, 253 kilos, 558 pounds. Wow, compared to the base, yeah, 231,509. Holy cow, that's a lot of weight that it gained from there. Okay, yeah, a lot of that's fuel too. You know, an 18-liter tank versus a 20, almost 25-liter tank, 6 gallons, 6.1, I think. But the problem with that weight gain is the benchmark for this category, yeah, we all know who that is, lost weight this year, didn't gain it. So, although if we still look at the base Africa Twin, but then if we do electronic suspension and just do this by itself without the DCT, drop 10 kilos, we're still looking at 243 kilos, still more than the base GS. And that is electronic suspension along with this. So yeah, you say, why are you mentioning electronic suspension? It does weigh 2-3 kilos to add electronic suspension to any bike. Some a little less, some a little more, it just depends. So when you add electronic suspension and DCT to this, ooh, now this becomes heavy. But did I notice it today? Not too bad. And if we're looking at the power numbers, it looks a little underpowered, kind of equivalent to the other Japanese there, but how does this engine and transmission, this DCT, engine and DCT, feel on the street and the Autobahn. It looks like nobody behind me. Let's just do a roll on from about 15 and watch this thing shift all the way up to 6th gear. I'm in Sport 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's there. Highway speeds. And here, I'll make it go into 6 there. When I hit the paddle. Oh, I slowed down too. But wow, this DCT is nice. Is it worth the extra 3 more kilos from last year with this improvement? Yes, let me answer that question. Yes, it's worth it, especially with the slow speed maneuvers. It's beautiful, gorgeous. It's a lot smoother. There is no jerkiness whatsoever. With the old one, I could find the jerkiness a little bit, but this one I cannot, guys. Okay, I have found it, but it's very, very difficult to get a little and everything is smooth, even in Sport 1. That's my favorite mode. You can see I have the S, and then the first bar is up there. If it was in 2, then the second bar, then the third bar would be Sport 3. Or drive is the most relaxed. I felt that in drive it was shifting way too soon for my taste, and for my everyday riding, Sport 1 is great. And then when I get a little aggressive, then I go to Sport 2, and then here, let's go to Sport 2. There now. Oh yeah. It immediately says, okay, let's go. See, it's not letting go of 3rd gear, and here I gotta make it there. 4th, 5th, 6th. So Sport 2 really goes aggressive, and then Sport 3 is just crazy, ludicrous mode. And you can shift with the paddles whenever you want. See, I go down 5, 4, 3, or back up 4, 5, 6. So I'm loving this DCT. You can do whatever you want. The only time you need to use your left hand is if you want to run the menus or anything like that, or tell it what gear to go into with the paddles. But your left foot, there's nothing down there. There's no shifter. See there, let's drop her. Okay, good. And then up there. Perfect. Oh yeah. This DCT is awesome. I am loving it. Is it worth the extra weight? Yes. Is it worth upgrading to from the 2020 and through 2023 models? Ooh, that's a tough call. You guys would have to make that call. Because you're going to lose some money there on that trade up. But is it better? Yes. How much better? Ooh. If you have a 19 or older, yes, trade up, no problem. No, because then you get the new motor, well, a newer motor, and now in 24 you got the newest motor. So overall, yeah, this engine and transmission is just awesome. No complaints whatsoever. 2 thumbs up. Boom, boom. Let's see how she does on the Autobahn. Oh, the roll-on's great. Wow. Okay. Ooh, I'm already doing 150. Okay. All right. Wind noise. Okay, all right. Let's go normal. Let's drop her down to 120. There we go. There's 75 miles an hour. That's normal highway speeds. I'm getting hit on the shoulder, arm, on the side. Okay, the wind. Okay, I have a cross breeze. The wind's coming from this direction. That's why. Nothing on this side of my whole body. Okay, a little bit on the arm. But no buffeting. It looks like, yes, Honda, you fixed it with these new air vents in the front fairing. I am not getting any buffeting. I'm in a little pocket here. Very, very, boom, 2 thumbs up for that, Honda. Yeah, on this Adventure Sport model. Wow, I'm pleasantly surprised. Still a lot of wind noise, though. I would definitely wear earplugs if I'm going to spend any amount of time on the Autobahn highway. Well, on any bike, really. Let's be honest. And There, let's roll on and see what happens. Oh, nice. Look at that, dropped 2 gears. 5, 6. Oh, it hasn't gone back to 6 yet. Go to 6. There. I made it with the paddle. That's nice. I like the paddle shifters on here. That is very nice. And this does have some get up and go, as you can see. So on the Autobahn, vibration, yeah, it's noticeable in the right foot peg more so than in the left. About the same, a little more than the GS, the 13 GS. About the same as the Tiger Triumph Tiger 1200 though. Interesting. Ducati maybe a little bit more. Now the hands though, oh, nice isolation Honda, almost non-existent vibration in either hand. That's very well done there. Yeah, that's nice. Now vibration in the seat, nah, don't feel a thing. So your butt will get numb on the Autobahn. So overall on the Autobahn, for a heavy-weight adventure bike, yeah, boom, boom, 2 thumbs, way up. Look at this gorgeous, yeah, electronic suspension there. Oh yeah, nice. And only 210 mils of travel versus the base still has 20 more, and last year's Adventure Sport has 20 more on this 19-inch instead of 21-inch, and it's also wider here, guys. So yeah, now you can fit higher performance tires on here, which is nice for a nice change if you never plan to go off-road, which, let's be honest, a lot of us never take our adventure bikes off-road, do we? Yeah, that's the point. 310 discs there, 4-piston Nissans. They feel kind of pretty good. And yeah, coming back here, look at this gorgeous DCT here. Yeah, loving the coloring. Everything looks well done there, Honda. I got to give you that. 200 mils of travel there, and a 1-piston Nissan and a 256 disc there also. Now this ABS on the rear is switchable. You can turn that off. So notice the parking brake down here for this too. Yeah, that's only on the DCTs. So you can set your parking brake up there, because as soon as you shut it off, it's in neutral. And that's what the parking brake is for. Now with all this new geometry, say, what do you mean new geometry? 20 millimeters loader and a 19-inch tire. Yeah, it's whole new geometry. How does that feel? This suspension and brakes on the street. This electronic suspension is doing well on my favorite bumpy road. It's adapting nicely. I can... it's pretty good. It competes with the dynamic ESA on the BMW GS. No problem. That might be a little more plush. That could be the front paralever though, or telelever. But this is it's working nicely. All right, now let me trail brake with the rear brake into this corner. Oh, a nice feel, nice feedback. Yeah, I always slow down because cars come in and out from there and you can't see them, you know. And if you're doing 100, which is the speed limit, and they're doing 20, problem. But that's why I always trail brake with the rear brake, so as not to upset the balance on the front and rear tires, the weight balance. But this front brake, okay, I can tell it's a Nissan. It grabs right away, but it's firm and smooth. Not in any way, shape, or form like a Brembo. That grabs later and then progresses. This is more like a Haze. So if you guys have ever had a Haze, or Nia J1 is more in the middle. But I totally know what it's doing. I'm used to it already. And the rear brake also, here, let me speed up, and then, yeah, I'm giving it more pressure than I would like, but it works. No complaints about this suspension. And these brakes, it depends on what setting you want to put it on and leave it at. Then, you know, that's your preference if you want to ride a little more sporty aggressively or and so on. But overall, I cannot criticize this suspension and brakes. 2 thumbs up. Boom, boom. Take a look at the rest of this machine. This is brand new this year. They updated it, made it lighter, although the overall machine was heavier. It is louder though, I've noticed that. But it was a nice loud sound though. I didn't mind it at all. It was good. Yeah, you can put the luggage on here, of course, in the back. And of course, chain drive there, of course. I don't like how these tubes come up and over here. That's, oh well. But sitting on this thing, yeah, this thing is so low. 835. Wow, my knees are bent. I'm 5'10", 32-inch inseam, 178 centimeters. And this is no problem. And they didn't decrease this angle either on this bike. So that's the interesting thing. Honda, very good job at lowering the seat, making it more accessible to us, for us smaller or shorter riders. That's nice. You can also get the low seat option, which goes down another 40 millimeters, all the way down to 795 millimeters off the ground. 24.8 liter tank filled up. Of course, this thing is pretty heavy for this. It's almost Kawasaki, or it is tied with the Kawasaki versus for the weight. So yeah, in that category, it's pretty heavy. How does this feel in a little village? Okay, now let's watch it downshift to, that was in 3, 2, and all the way down to 1. And this is just a yield, so I don't have to, oh, that was perfect. Nailed it, Honda. This DCT is awesome. No hesitation, no jerkiness, nothing. Just everything was smooth. In traffic like this, in a tiny little village, yeah, this is barely a village. Okay. I put it in S2. I should go back to S1 there. I like S1 in town. And the front brake is a good, solid, firm, typical Nissan feel. Definitely not a Brembo, more like a Hayes and Nissan. Oh yeah. Loving that S1 drive mode here in this little village. And this thing has lost its top heaviness. Oh, well, okay, not all of it, but most of it, because they brought the suspension down 20 mils and 19-inch front versus 21. That seems to have been the magic that this was missing all along for riding on the street. Wow, I am impressed with this. Oh, okay, thank you. And the turn in, it's no longer a tip in now. Now it's a typical turn in. Before it would just tip and it would fall in. Now it's turning in nicely. It's predictable. It's more, there, that's the word. It's more predictable, this little turn in. It's beautiful, actually. They finally hit it. But this is in a little village. I like this. And now the old one, no. The off-road, the base model with the 21-inch and 20 mils more suspension travel, no. But for this change, 19 and 20 mils lower, yes, spot on for a little village. Boom, boom, 2 thumbs, way up for a heavyweight adventure bike. The busiest set of switches I have ever seen. Here's to downshift, and if you roll over to the other side, this is to upshift, and then this is the, if you want to lock in the rear, this thing over here, as I mentioned earlier, this is the parking brake on the rear disc. So, and then to take that off, you just pull it and then it releases the parking brake. That's simple. This side here, you have 4 ride modes: drive, sport 1, 2, and 3. Sport 3 was really, boy, it hung onto the gear so long, very aggressive. I kind of like sport 1 and sport 2. Sport 1 was I'm in a village, chillaxing. Sport 2 was I'm a little aggressive, canyon carving country roads. And sport 3 was trying to keep up with sport bikes. Good luck with that on this, but anyway. And the display is the same, 6.5 inch. I do like BMW's, the GS display better, and Triumphs and KTM's. Never thought I would say that. But I like this readout better than the KTM. And yeah, okay. So there. It's nice, so, but this has CarPlay, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and BMW GS, the benchmark, does not. This has had it for quite a few years. Now if you take a look at this windscreen, you need 2 hands to do this, to go up and down. You have to pinch this tab and this tab. So they obviously don't want you to adjust it while riding. Sounds like a challenge. Taking both hands off the grips and trying to adjust it. Don't know if I'm liking that too much, Honda, because there are many times that I want to adjust the screen and I don't want to pull over to do it, but you're making me do it here. Okay, that's one gripe. You know, you can live with it or not. It's up to you. Yeah, power here, 12 volt, and USB over here. Overall, guys, yeah, I'm liking this bike. It's about time Honda making a road-oriented touring version to compete against the benchmarks in this group. Because KTM does it with their SAS and SAR. Ducati kind of does it. BMW no longer does it. Nah, they don't. Well, we'll see how their 1300 GSA comes out this fall. But it's about time. Is it a good change? Yes, loving it. Now this would be, if I was looking for a more touring oriented heavyweight adventure bike, this would now be in the running the mix, besides the GS, besides the Tiger, besides the SAS. There, I just told you my top. Oh, and besides the Moto Guzzi Stelvio. Oh, I rode that several months ago, and it still touches my heart whenever I say its name or talk about it. So maybe that's the bike I'll get next year. Yeah, maybe. All right, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this review. As always, guys, ride safe. And number 2, guys, ride like there's nothing to prove. Take care. Cheers. Now the only question is, would I trade that, my 13 GS, for this? That's the question. That or this? Ooh, that's a good question. That has electronic windscreen. This does not. That has the automatic lowering suspension, 30 mils. This does not. Although this relaxes. Oh boy. This has DCT. That does not. Okay. But if I was, oh boy, on a budget. There we go. Most of us are. And this, with the DCT, in the base form that you see here, and its electronic suspension and everything, is less than that in base form. And if I'm on a budget, that's the dilemma. Would I switch to this if I were on a budget? Ooh, good question.